Malabuyok. And I'm Jodeline Bensuceso. And today, we have the opportunity on speaking with a very special guest, and we're here to deep dive into how she balances her thriving career.
We chose to interview her because we know her personally, and we know the life and career she had before, and what are the things she possesses right now. Our interviewee is a resident of San Gregorio Malvar, Batangas. She is currently working in her home office as an account manager for a manufacturing company in China. She also established businesses in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow students, Miss Aleli Makandili. Miss Aleli, aside from the information I have mentioned earlier, can you further provide some information about yourself?
Okay. Thank you, Yeyen, Lian, for giving me this opportunity. Everyone, my name is Aleli Makandili, 43, and I'm a resident, like what you mentioned earlier. I'm a resident of San Gregorio Malvar, Batangas, born and raised in San Gregorio. I spent my elementary years in San Gregorio Elementary School, and high school in JPLPC, formerly JPLPC, now Batangas State University. And I went to Batangas State University in Alangilan, Batangas City. I graduated in 2002, so I'm old. So I'm currently working from home here in San Gregorio Malvar, and I am striving to learn more side hustles while working. So I'm not sure if I'm excited or nervous about this interview because I don't know what would be the questions, but I will be glad to answer your questions later. Okay?
We have prepared a couple of questions for you po, and we would appreciate if you could share some of your personal thoughts about these items.
And to start with, who inspired you to pursue your career or passion?
Actually, there is no particular person who inspire to pursue any career or status that I have right now. It's actually the status of myself and my family before. We had difficult times before, and I always thought na dapat hindi kami laging ganun yung situation kasi mahirap yung buhay noon. So, the very thing that inspires me is the status of life that we had together with my family. So I was pushing myself to the limit until I reached the initial goals that I set for my life. So,
Thank you po. And for our next question, what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
actually, the challenges are very similar to what I have mentioned earlier. It's the status of life that we had before. The life was difficult, and I remember when I was younger, because my father passed away when I was like 6, 7 years old, and my mom didn't have a job. Fortunately, our eldest sister just finished college, and she helped in providing for the family during that time. Although she was working, but her salary was not enough to cover all the expenses in the house. So, yun yung main challenges ko at ng pamilya namin. Kasi kaming tatlong magkakapatid ay lahat nag-aaral. So, plus yung bunso namin kapatid na dedede pa siya ng time na yun. So, not enough yung pumapasok na pera compared sa expenses na meron kami. So, yung biggest challenge ko yung so petty, pero yung mga classmates ko, alam ko naman na hirap din sila sa buhay, pero pumapasok sila na may baon, ako wala. That was the time in elementary, and when I was in high school, the situation is very similar, although may baon na ako everyday kasi sa bayan na ako pumapasok. Pero still, the money that I had every day was not enough for the expenses or the things that I would like to buy for everyday life as a high school student. But the main challenges, I would say, would be when I was graduating in high school, because during that time, my older brother was still in college, so I think my family wouldn't be able to provide for both of us. He went to school, he went to PUP, Polytechnic University of the Philippines in Santo Tomas. Actually, tuition fee was not the issue because it was very cheap. Ang problema talaga namin yung everyday na baon. So, konti-konti lang yung baon. Pero para sa amin, medyo malaking bagay na siya. So, I was very concerned that time kasi feeling ko hindi ako makakapasok ng college. Although, wala nagsasabi sa pamilya namin na hindi ako papasok. So, what I did was, hindi ako mahilig mag-aral, pero luckily, siguro fortunately, na medyo okay yung grades ko. Tapos, ginawa ko siyang foundation para makakuha ng entrance exams sa mga university din. And kumuha ko ng maraming scholarship exams. Tapos, fortunately ulit, napasan ko yung mga scholarship exams. Tapos, nung mag-enroll na ako, saka ako nag-decide kung aling scholarship exam, kung aling scholarship society yung kukuhain ko. Syempre, yung pinili ko yung pinaka, I would say, malaki in terms of monetary. So, yun yung sigurong biggest challenge ko noong younger years ko.
I suppose to ask you the question, how did you stay motivated, especially during tough time? But I think it's already covered on your previous comments. So I'll just ask you the next question po. How do you define success, and has that definition changed over time?
There are actually many definitions of success that I set for myself. Actually, it's like a step-by-step success. So I would say that my very first success was when I entered college, because like what I mentioned earlier, I thought that I will not be able to go to college because of the financial difficulties. So when I was able to enroll in college, I treat that as a success for myself. And then the next step, it's like I'm setting a goal. I'm setting a goal to meet one at a time. And my next success would be graduating college. And those are simple goals, but for me, I consider that as a successful step in my life. And then the next successful thing that happened to me was I was able to find a job a week after my graduation. And then, since I to the question that has this successful, what was the question again? Has the definition of success changed over time? For me, yes, because I was given an opportunity and a chance by my job before to travel on many places. So I got to experience many things. And because nung medyo bata pa ako, okay na ako sa ganito. But when I got to experience new things, and then I was like, oh, I would like to achieve this, I would like to have these things, I would like to be part of this community. So over time, my goals for becoming a successful and that specific item has changed. Although some of the things or some of the goals that I set during that time, I haven't been achieved yet. But many of those things that I told myself that I would like to have or I would like to achieve, I already got it. So I think if people will ask, am I successful? Maybe some people would say I am not yet successful. But for me, there are many things that I already succeeded. So.
What do you believe is the most important quality of a successful person?
I think it would be do not change the attitude, stay grounded, but enjoy the moment. So I think once you achieve the goals that you have set in life, you have to keep the attitude, stay grounded, be simple, but enjoy the moment. And do not stop of achieving new things. Do not stop setting new goals for your life. Like what I mentioned earlier, I do not have additional goals before, but since I gained new experiences, I got to experience, and I got to think of new things. Like what I mentioned earlier, I got to experience new things, which gives me an opportunity to set new goals in my life. And I think one of the quality that we have to keep as a successful person is to focus on the new goals that you set.
Thank you po.
If you don't mind po, we still have a couple of questions.
Okay.
What was the best piece of advice you've ever received?
The best advice, I would say, the things that the elder people are always telling us: finish your studies, finish your education. I'll tell more about this later, but it is very important, especially for the younger generations, to finish your studies.
Definitely agree po. I always hear this from my mom, my lola, my titas and titas. And I remember many times in the past, when I was playing outside, my mom would yell at me. She would ask me, "Did you finish your homework? You have exams tomorrow." Yes, I remember that. Okay, moving on po. What advice would you give to someone just starting in their field?
I would be saying the same thing. Focus on your studies, finish your education. But I wouldn't say starting in my field, because I think really the education is just a ticket of getting a job after graduations. Like, no matter what would be your course in college, you'll be um, looking for the same thing, a job. So regardless of what will be your course, whether you're a business management or computer science graduate, as long as you're not engineering, because engineering I think is a different field. But for like an accountancy, most of the time, if you see the posting in the companies, like um, admin stuff or any stuff of the department, the qualifications are like graduate of any 4-year course. So regardless of the course, so I would say finish your studies, focus on your education, and once you start working on any company, uh, that was the time that you're going to show off. So
After hearing your story po, I can say that dedication and focusing is really the key to success.
definitely yes. But it's very important also that when you are already working, you still have to strive of learning, because things that you're going to do in the actual job are very different than the things that you're studying in universities or in school, because you'll be learning and you'll be studying the real thing that a normal person is doing in the actual world. So you will be continue to study, and you need to strive to learn for new things.
We're actually enjoying hearing a lot of things from you po, and there's a lot of questions we'd like to ask, but this would be the last question since we think we're already taking too much of your time. If you could go back in time, what's one thing you would do differently in your career and life?
Thing that I would do differently in my career, I would say three things. First, when I was studying, I was really not. When I was in school, not really studying. When I was in school, I was not really studying hard. I was just having like um, a day to pass by. As long as I will get good grades at the end, it was okay for me. But I was not really paying attention at the everyday classes. And if I would be given an opportunity to study again, I think I will study more, especially in college. Because I remember, just to give you some insights, when I was working right now, there are many actual problems in the company that I need to search what's the Pythagorean theorem, how am I going to calculate the x and y. Really, I was the one who's making the formula just to solve what's the measurement of this, what's the degree of this. So if I'll be given an opportunity, I'll definitely study harder when I was in the university. Second thing would be in a career-wise, not really what am I going to do differently in terms of the career, but what am I going to do in addition to the career that I may have. I always tell this to my nieces and nephew to start thinking of side hustles or business when you're still young, because I'm already 43 now, and I'm already 43 years old now, and um, I regret not to start thinking of side hustles or business when I was younger. I just started thinking of business at the age of 40, but I was thinking I should have side hustle or business when I was in 30. So by the time I'm 40, the business, I'm hoping that the business would start to grow by the time that my age is getting higher and higher. So um, do, to, doing the thing differently in my career, maybe not, but doing in addition to the career that I have. The third would be um, um, maybe I would say act like a millennial or the Z generation, um, young people, because every time I need something, I'm going to ask my nieces and nephew what's the meaning of this, how to do this and that, because I think there are too many um, tools in the internet right now that you can be used in your everyday life and in your career and in your side hustle. So that will be the three things that I may do differently if I will be given a chance to go back on the previous years ago.
So much so that we'd like to ask you more questions. We may have to conclude this. And one last thing, what advice can you give us and our fellow students who might see this interview?
Um, Finish your studies, listen to your elders, do not rush things to become a top. Set goals, focus on it, enjoy life, live the moment. That's it.
Thank you so much for your time po.
You're welcome.
Hello, I'm James Malabuyok. Came from San Gregorio, Malbar, Batangas. She's my daughter, and I want to give more information about these activities. Thank you. I'm 43 years old.
Okay, now we'll proceed on asking you questions about your journey or your career. First question, who inspired you to pursue your career or passion?
Naging inspirasyon ko para matupad ang aking mga pangarap ay siguro ang aking pamilya. Kasi sila yung higit na gusto kong matulungan dahil sila yung mas nangangailangan ng tulong sa akin. Kaya napagpursigihan ko na makatapos ako ng aking pag-aaral. Yun lang. At,
What challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
siguro mga challenges na mga kinarap ko, yung mga oras na ikaw ay papasok na wala ka namang baon, na kailangan mo pa magtrabaho ng alhating araw para makakuha ka. Kasi ang aking shift noon ay panghapon. Kaya kailangan ko ng baon. Wala namang ibigay. Wala maibigay ng aking mga magulang. Kaya need ko na meron ng extra para may pamasahe ako papunta sa eskwela kasi malayo. Mula Santo Tomas hanggang Kalamba, yung 50 pesos na binabaon ko, pinagkakasya ko na lang yun. Yun yung mga challenges na napakahirap sa estudyante na wala ka na kahit pang merienda kasi pamasahe na lang yung pinaglalaanan mo.
Next question. How did you stay motivated, especially during tough times?
Ang naging motivation ko during that time na ako ay talagang gusto ko na sumuko, laging paulit-ulit na paano sa isip ko yung kahirapan namin. Kasi kaya talaga yung nagiging nagtitrigger sa akin para pagbutihin ko pa yung aking pag-aaral at para ko itong matatapos at maging success ako sa aking buhay.
So, your situation back then was not that easy, but even though it is hard, it kept you motivated and move forward in life.
So our next question is, how do you define success and has that definition changed over time?
Siguro ang naging success ko doon sa buhay ko ay yung makatapos ako. Kung paano ito sa isang bagay na ngayon may pamilya na ako, ito yung gusto ko na maparanas ko rin sa aking mga anak, kagaya mo, na hindi naman ganun kahirap. At then, at least makatapos din sila para at least may puhunan agad sila ng pinag-aralan para matupad nila yung kanilang mga pangarap.
What do you believe is the most important quality of a successful person?
Sa isang successful na tao, kailangan meron ka mga tangian na dapat lagi mong i-maintain at isa sa buhay. Una-una, yung matulungin ka sa kapwa. Yung pag-iisip mo ng 2 beses bago ka magdesisyon. Matalino. At sa higit sa lahat, yung pag-share mo ng iyong kaalaman sa bawat sa mamamayan na maaari mo silang matulungan. Thank you.
What was the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Pinaka-the best na advice na natanggap ko sa aking buhay, yung isang bagay lang na tumanim sa aking puso. Yung isang bagay na dapat wag mo nang pinapalampas. Yun yung pagkakataon. Kasi yun na yung pagkakataon mo. Kasi pag sinayang mo pa yun, maaaring mawala. Wala na susunod na isang pagkakataon. Kaya dapat, i-care mo na yun. I-grab mo na agad. Kasi yun yung pagkakataon mo na pala para yumaman, pero pinalampas mo pa. Kaya dapat, huwag mong palalampasin ang bawat pagkakataon na nalampas sa buhay mo.
What advice would you give to someone just starting in your field?
Ang may advice ko lang, basta pagpatuloy nyo lang yung pagtulong sa kapwa, yung pagbibigay ng magandang ehemplo ng kabutihan, at laging maging mapagmatsyag sa anumang sitwasyon para mas mahigit mo itong mapag-isipan at magawa ng mabuti, lalo na sa iyong mga kapwa.
And for our last question, if you could go back in time, what's one thing you would do differently in your career and why?
Siguro ang isang bagay na gusto kong baguhin sa aking karir ngayon, yung hindi na ako magpapadikta sa ibang tao dahil alam ko naman sa sarili ko na may kakayanan ako na para makatulong at mapaulad ang isang bagay at ang aking kumpanyang pinagtatrabahuan. Thank you.
Thank you.
As we wrap up today's discussion, remember that success is not just about reaching the finish line. It's about the perseverance and resilience we show along the way. Each challenge we face is an opportunity for growth and learning. I encourage you to embrace the journey, stay committed to your goals, and keep pushing through obstacles. Thank you for tuning in. and I hope you feel inspired to continue your own path with determination and grit. Stay connected and keep striving for success.
Once again, I am Angeline Malabuyok.
And I'm Jodeline Bensuceso.
Wala, hindi ka. Wala,